Welcome back. It is Tuesday, June 20th, and the MLB. Our two favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday, a 2-0 day. We'll take it. Our back-to-back 2-0 days. Let's talk about it. The Marlins plus 1.5. Yeah, great call, Logan. I don't think you really had to sweat that one. They went 11-0. Wish we laddered the Marlins, but they absolutely crushed it. And then my pick was the Royals plus 3.5 in the first five, and the over 3.5 in the first five. The Royals did majority of the work by themselves. Ended up winning the first five 4-1. Ended up choking the game later on in the seventh inning. But either way, hey, we'll take a 2-0 day. You guys see us back in our octopus shirts. Like, we aren't watching these things until we lose some picks. And I'm undefeated with the octopus on. We're 2-0 in back-to-back days with it on. So it's become a meme here. But hey, we'll take it. Now, let's talk about my pick. We obviously switched up the order. I'm going first. Logan's batting cleanup. But before I dive into my pick, I'm going to give out an Underdog Fantasy entry. And if you want to tail it, it's on Underdog Fantasy. We cashed our yesterday one. I'll put up the ticket. I tweeted it out on Twitter if you want to go see what I'll do today. It's going to be on Twitter at Calling or Shot. Turn $10 into $100. Just a reminder, if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, I'll put up all the states that it is legal in that you can see. You can play on it. You just want to make sure you have Pick'em available and you can do it. And the best part is if you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, make sure you use code COS and you get double your first deposit up to $100. So deposit $25, now you got 50. Deposit 50, now you get 100. Deposit up to 100, now you get 200. So take advantage of that deposit match. Again, here's all the states that Underdog Fantasy is eligible and you want that pick on. But without further ado, Logan, it is time to dive into my play, and let's dive into it. Here we're going with White Sox plus 2.5 in the first five innings and the over 2.5 in the first five. Currently minus 130 on FanDuel. Now, minus 130 is probably the most juice I'll ever hand out on one of these picks, or even just the pick in general. Really don't like laying a ton of juice in. Honestly, if you have to take plus 1.5, I'd probably take that too. I was actually going to take plus 1.5, but I'd rather the plus 2.5. It makes me feel a little bit safer. And if you're on FanDuel, here's how you enter it. You go to FanDuel, you go to the first five innings tab, you go to alternate run lines here, and you'll take the White Sox plus 2.5 in the first five and the over 2.5 runs in the first five as well. Now, let's also talk about a couple pivots. One of my favorite pivots would be the White Sox plus 0.5 in the first five. I think the White Sox lead this game after 5 innings, and I have a chance of winning this one outright. However, I don't want to trust their bullpen. So plus 0.5 in the first five is pretty solid. And then I also don't mind the White Sox for team total over 1.5 in the first 5 innings. That is a DraftKings play. But hey, let's talk about exactly why I like this one. And we hit 4 of these picks in a row. So found a groove here. We're going to go for 5 straight. Now, let's talk about Dylan Cease, who's going to be on the mound for the White Sox today. And we need a decent showing out of him. He's going to start, you look at his numbers, 4.31 ERA and a 1.34 whip, allowing a 228 batting average. And Cease actually getting back to the strikeout numbers we're accustomed to seeing from him last year. Look at his last 4 starts, 8, 6, 7, and 10 strikeouts. I got his line set up 6.5. I think he's like minus 125 on the over. I'm not saying to take the over in Ks. He's actually been striking out some guys, and that's what you need, especially a guy like Cease. If he's not striking out guys, he's going to be in a world of pain. But you've seen in June, he's pitched pretty well, 1, and 2 earned runs. If he can give us a 2 earned run type performance, I would honestly think this pick's got a pretty good chance of hitting. It's when he has had a random start here and there where he gives up, 4, 5, 6 earned runs where he might be in a little bit of trouble. But I think Cease, he's been getting hit hard some games, but I think he can at least do pretty well keeping the ball in the ballpark. Only 9 home runs allowed in 79 and a third innings pitched. So, look, the Rangers are a great offense. I'm not going to come out here and say the Rangers are getting shut out in the first 5 innings today, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little bit of trouble hitting Dylan Cease. Now, obviously, the Rangers offense has struggled a little bit on the road, and the Rangers, batting splits with runners in scoring position is due some hard regression. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers go on a hot losing streak. I think, honestly, their fans, if you are a fan of the team, want them to win the World Series. I think you kind of need that losing streak before that losing streak comes near the end of the season. But either way, I think Cease pitches at least decently against the Rangers and gives us a chance. Now, it's easy to back the Rangers on the money line today. I mean, they're like minus 120, minus 130. Sure, they're the better team than the White Sox. The record indicates that. And they got Nathan Eovaldi on the mound, and he's arguably their best pitcher. I mean, you look at Eovaldi's stats, 2.59 ERA and a 0.98 whip. Yeah, he's been pretty good. I'm not going to come out here and say Eovaldi's getting rocked today, but he's only allowing a 217 batting average, but his last 2 starts, showing back to Eovaldi that I think he's more capable of, and he's allowed 4 and 3 earned runs in those last 2 starts to the Rays and the Angels. And you look, Eovaldi had a great stretch in May, and then even carried over 1 start into June where he was cooking. He had like a lower than 1 ERA, but I'm here to report that's not the kind of pitcher that I think he is. He's not a sub-3 ERA like he has right now, not a sub-1, whip pitcher too. I mean, you look at he's age 33. It's not like this is a young pitcher that had 1 bad year to start his career. and suddenly he's turning on. No, this guy's pitched 12 seasons in the league, and he's got a career average about, a 4-ish ERA and a 1.3 whip. He's a very average pitcher, in my opinion. The stats this year, I think, are a little bit fluky, and maybe he keeps going. Crazier things have happened, but I think some regression's coming his way, and I think it could come today to the White Sox. Now, you look at yesterday, the White Sox, it felt like early on in June, Logan picked the White Sox yesterday because, they lost 5-2, and they went a solid 0-for-9 with runners in scoring position. Logan knows that pain all too well, taking a team and they can't get those runners home. I think some regression's at least going to come today. I mean, they could go 0-for-9 again, but heck, if they get that many runners in scoring position against Eovaldi and that bullpen, I can't really be mad with the pick. But I like taking a team that's coming off a game where they just could not get those runners home. I think they went 9-for-36 as a team. So definitely some regression coming here. I think the White Sox got a good chance of hitting around Eovaldi. They have a lot of actually pretty good splits against them, like Tim Anderson, and Luis Robert Jr. All these guys actually have pretty good splits against Eovaldi. So I think if the White Sox can get us 2 runs, which will be cashing their over 1.5 first 5 team total, which is the pivot I do like the most, I think they got a good chance at cashing this one. I don't think Cease is giving up, 5 earned runs. I think he'll pitch at least decently. Hopefully the White Sox offense can at least give us a chance at home. Coming off a loss, but only like minus, plus 110 on the money line. Everyone's hammering the Rangers and all their parlays. I think the White Sox at least got a chance today. So give me them plus 2.5 in the first 5 and the over 2.5 in the first 5 as well. If you got to go up maybe to 3.5 in the first 5, don't mind that. And like I said, I don't mind plus a half, heck, even plus 1.5 on the first 5 too. But before I dive into Dinger Tuesday, Logan, we'll save that for last. What's your pick going to be for today?
Yeah, my pick is just a straight up money line. It's not as complicated as yours, but I'm taking an underdog money line and I'm getting plus value on it. I'm taking the Pirates on the money line, plus 110 odds on BetMGM is currently your best value for this one. Now look, the Pirates have lost 7 in a row and they need my help. They need me to break them out of this funk. And I got you, Pirates, today. I'm going to help you get a win. The Cubs just won 8-0 yesterday as minus 125 road favorites. And now with their ace, Marcus Stroman, on the mound, the line doesn't flinch. It doesn't move at all. It's still currently sitting at like minus 125. So are they that confident that the Pirates, are going to make it competitive today? I think so. I think that's what that line says. They aren't afraid to make juiced road favorites a line. You could pick the first 5 Pirates plus a half in the first 5 innings, but that was just to minus 130. So I'll be bold and say the losing streak ends today because I do think they're going to come out inspired, at least to start the game. And who's pitching for the Pirates today? It's Johan Oviedo, 4.4 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. Now, this isn't a guy I'm ever running out to back, but last time he faced the Cubs, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. He did strike out 8 batters, which is like the positive takeaway from that. Obviously, I don't want him giving up 4 earned runs, this type performance. But if he does get those swing and misses like he was getting that one, I feel decent. Oviedo's also better at home, 3.86 ERA at home. So that sub 4 ERA, the question is the Cubs offense going to follow up their 8-run performance with another good performance today? Does the law of averages kick in? I think it does, because you look at the Cubs on the season, 27th in strikeouts on the road and 21st in runs on the road. So I just think the law of averages is kind of saying, yeah, maybe they're more of a 4-3 type, run game coming against Oviedo today. I think that's kind of what the line's indicating. If you're looking at who's starting for the Cubs today, Marcus Stroman, 2.45 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. Look, yesterday I called my shot. This is why the channel's called this way. I said Barrios, do some hard regression. I think Stroman's also a prime regression candidate. Look, his 3.73 expected ERA is obviously significantly higher than his sub 3 ERA. I just think over the course of the season, we're going to see some more bad Stroman starts because he's a bit of an erratic pitcher. This is why he walks a lot of batters. At the end of the day, I think the Pirates offense will be able to get to him. He just faced the Pirates, had a quality start, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, only 5 strikeouts though. To me, the hardest thing to do in baseball, it's very difficult for a pitcher to duplicate the performance they just had versus the team they just faced recently. It's not like he faced them months ago. He faced them in June. And the hitters, will make adjustments against Marcus Stroman after they just saw him. I think that's the difficult thing, right? Now, Oviedo and Stroman obviously both saw each of their opponents, but Stroman had the quality start. And does he follow that up with another quality start? I don't know. Pittsburgh's hitting 163 in their last 3 games, which is atrocious. It's hard to back that team, but their season batting average at home is 245. I think positive regression is coming their way. Baseball is all about the law of averages. One day you're good, one day you're bad. And if you've been trending bad, eventually you will trend up. Even the Oakland Athletics, a team, as bad as them, they had a little hot stretch of offense too. That's just that is how baseball works. It's about highs and lows, and the Pirates are experiencing a low, but they're not going to stay low forever. They're not going to go on and lose in perpetuity. They eventually will win, and I'm calling it today. I like seeing Reynolds, McCutchen, and Tucapito Marcano all minus 250 or worse to get a hit today. That usually is an indicator that they will have some offensive production from those key guys in the order, because I look at the hits props. By the way, no hit streak today. I got to take a day off after Kyle Tucker did what he did to us yesterday. But normally those guys hover in the minus 300 range. The books expect to get hits, and I think that's what we're going to see from those key guys. Lastly, Pittsburgh 24th in bullpen ERA, Cubs 23rd in bullpen ERA. Not a huge discrepancy there. I could see a Cubs bullpen meltdown for sure. Today is the day we get the Pirates offense turned around. They're going to be batting well today, and it's a Pirates life for me. That's going to be my pick. But Austin, we do have Dinger Tuesday plays because that is a fun FanDuel promo, so I'll just go ahead and give mine. I'm taking Rowdy Tellez of the Milwaukee Brewers to get a home run. Plus 350 odds on FanDuel is currently your best value for that one. But I just think Rowdy Tellez, he's kind of due. If I look at the Brewers line, the Brewers absolutely stunk it up yesterday. They're facing a Ryan Nelson who just, I think he's batting practice against the Brewers offense at home. I kind of like several Brewers to get home runs today, but Rowdy Tellez, always a guy to swing for the fences. Austin, who you got for us?
Yeah, I'm going to a guy that helped you out yesterday big time. He was actually on the thumbnail. He had his chain out, and it's Jorge Soler of the Miami Marlins at plus 360. I think he's a pretty good one. Jose Kikuchi sometimes tosses some turkeys. We know Soler's great at hitting those lefties. And also, I believe he has 2 home runs already up on Kikuchi. I don't know if the Marlins win today. Now they're about to pick them against the Blue Jays. But I think Soler maybe gets a dinger. And hey, if you want to parlay both of them, go for it. But if you want to take advantage of the Dinger Tuesday promo, just go into your FanDuel promo tabs. You can see exactly what you get. I think if you put $25 on each of these, and every home run into the games get you $5 back. So it's a fun promo. We just kind of mess around with them. We've cashed out once or twice before. And normally if my guy doesn't hit a homer, he hits either one on Wednesday or he hits one next Dinger Tuesdays. That's just how it's been working out. But either way, I like these 2 Dinger Tuesday plays, and I like our 2 plays. Logan, look, if we go 2-0, I don't know if we'll ever change out of the Octopus shirts ever again, but hopefully the Octopus can treat us nicely. We can get another 2-0 day, and we can kind of slowly start to build back some momentum and keep this winning streak going. So either way, Pirates plus 1.5, my same game parlay in the first 5. Let's get it done. Let's have another 2-0 day. If you want to sign up for Underdog Fantasy, reminder, use code COS, and I'll post a ticket later on this afternoon on Colin Our Shot, our Twitter. So love you guys. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you guys back on Wednesday. Peace.